Albedo's back, and he's waiting for us on Dragonspine. No time to waste! Let's get going!
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye.
So this is the other Durin, huh? If this had been the dragon that ended up being revived in Mondstadt, there's no telling what kind of calamity that people would have had to endure. So, if you think about it like that, Durin's actually a hero. No, I'm just a little envious, that's all. Not everyone gets a chance to be a hero.
Actually, most of the credit belongs to Albedo.
Then again, barely anyone even remembers you at this point. So I guess there's not much left to envy.
You... Oh!
Ah, so you three still remember Durin. Looks like the memory loss hasn't spread to close friends. Yeah, I guess that means my memory of you must still be complete as well.
Albedo.
You're finally here! Oh, boy, do we have a whole pile of questions for you!
Oh, you're here too?
I think I've pieced together some of what happened to him. But what's your take on things?
Master Jean filled me in on what happened, and I've got a few theories. But let's get on the same page first. Well, physically, he's doing fine. His body is holding the abyssal power at bay. And there's nothing whatsoever to indicate any risk of collapse.
So, from an alchemy point of view, there's nothing wrong with him?
The issue isn't so much that the abyssal power within him has gotten out of control. It's that the connection between his will and body is fading. If he ends up losing his conscious will, his body will fall back on its biological instincts. And that's when the abyssal power within it will take over. This book mentioned a witches' gathering. It seems like quite a few of these witches got themselves involved in Durin's case. Which brings me to my theory. Bringing Fairy Tale Durin into this world to replace the Durin on Dragonspine means using one Durin's fate to overwrite the others. But the power of alchemy alone would not be enough to pull off such a feat. It would have required the combined use of Miss Barbeloff's astrology, my teacher's alchemy, and Aunt Alice's magic. After learning of Miss Barbeloff's prophecy, Durin and I finally came up with a way to settle the Dragonspine Durin problem for good. And I took care of the alchemy side of things, which, looking back on it, seems to have been a part of their plan all along. So now, there's only one thing missing. As for the fate theory our friend in the hat just mentioned, I still can't figure out how any kind of magic could possibly influence the fate of Tevat. But I'm certain that the answer lies within this book.
So, the reason Alice had us complete this book was to make that magic possible?
A form of magic powerful enough to rewrite fate itself.
Well, we've no time to lose. I just need to take a look at the book. The next part of the story most likely relates to me. So the memory that unlocks it must be connected to me too.
Huh?
The giant tree was home to a broken branch, the shape of its splintered arm aligning perfectly with the branch that had burst forth from the castle walls. Join yourself to that broken bough, for there you may take root at last, and henceforth bask in the sun and rain of the world beyond the castle. But first, fetch the stickiest clay and let it bind the scar of the break.
I see.
Guided by the breeze, the little dragon arrived at an alchemist's workshop. There he was greeted by a clay figure, a child molded by the sage witch's hands. Though gentle in appearance, he had inherited his mother's cold, sharp wisdom. And he was determined to avert the calamity the evil dragon would bring. And so was his helper, none other than the little dragon himself.
What is this place?
It looks like it's modeled after an alchemist's workshop. Or rather, a cliched stereotype of one.
Albedo?
Hold on. Why do I look like this?
Oh, yeah! We forgot to tell you. Basically, the characters in the story are reflections of how Durin sees them.
At least you're still human-shaped?
Well, since Cat Guy has taken on a different appearance too, that must mean the two of us are both characters in the story. But you, Paimon, and Durin haven't changed at all. You must be special figures in some way.
I'd like to know more about that too. But seeing as none of them can explain it, let's just concentrate on moving the plot forward.
And just like that, the group stumbled upon a hidden passageway. Intricately crafted, it seemed to lead them towards another exciting chapter of the tale.
Come on! What are we waiting for? Next chapter? Here we come! Ouch!
But this was a chapter that had not yet been written. Ahead of them was a storyless void, and they could go no further.
What? Then what's the point of having a path here? Sounds like a pretty bad habit for a writer.
Over here. I found something.
What the clay figure found was none other than the evil dragon's heart itself. Though the creature had perished long ago, its heart was still there, pulsing away and growing warmer with every beat. And the clay alchemist knew what it meant. That the evil dragon would return one day, just as the prophecy had foretold. Yet, guided by his mother's wisdom, he foresaw another fate. If only the alchemist could bestow this heart upon the little dragon, he might be reborn in the evil dragon's stead. Only then would the evil dragon's heart grow still, and the little one inherit its tale.
Sounds like this chapter is about Albedo bringing me to life?
If that really was the solution, though, this would have been over the minute I finished the transmutation. So why is Durin still being forgotten?
There has to be some other reason.
Yeah, I'd like to explore the area a bit more.
Unless the little dragon kept moving, eventually he would be forgotten. The evil dragon's heart continued to beat, as if waiting for the little dragon to accept it as his own.
Looks like we have no choice but to get this done. Whatever happens next, Durin is going to need all of our help. Is everyone ready?
What the clay figure found was none other than the evil dragon's heart itself. Though the creature had perished long ago, its heart was still there, pulsing away and growing warmer with every beat. And the clay alchemist knew what it meant. That the evil dragon would return one day, just as the prophecy had foretold. Yet, guided by his mother's wisdom, he foresaw another fate. If only the alchemist could bestow this heart upon the little dragon, he might be reborn in the evil dragon's stead. Only then would the evil dragon's heart grow still, and the little one inherit its tale. At last, the little dragon accepted the evil dragon's heart, and a new life came into being. The evil dragon's heart beat in his chest, and the little dragon's soul guided him forward. Thus did the prophecy hold true, even as fate had been rewritten. And so was the little dragon born anew.
Finally! A happy ending! That must be the last step, right? Woohoo! We completed the story!
Born anew, the little dragon set off once more, his story far from over.
Huh?
What comes next might be the most crucial part of all. The real last step.
If fate really is as devious as they say, then I say, show us what you've got.
Wow! You're all so serious all of a sudden. Durin, are you alright?
The evil dragon's heart was now one with the little dragon, yet the dark power within it still lingered. Would the little dragon dare to hold this power back, or would he simply give in?
Hey! What kind of question is that? Of course he's gonna control it! What choice does he have?
Time is running out. So, Would the little dragon dare to hold this power back? Or would he simply give in?
What's up with the narrator?
Would he dare to hold this power back? Or would he simply give in?
The little dragon and his companions.
Huh? What's going on?
Once the ink runs out, is that the end of the story?
I had a feeling this would happen.
What's happening to the others?
Now that the story's ink was spent, all that lay ahead were blank pages.
Hello, children. If you're hearing this recording, it's because you've reached a certain ending. You may have noticed that little Durin's experiences have been written into the pages of this book. Well, you should know that in the same way, its ending will also be written onto him. So be careful, because triggering a bad ending could be somewhat problematic. Let me guess, you're upset that I didn't warn you earlier? Don't worry though, I've thought it all through. I built a very special feature into this book, just for you, the witnesses of this tale. So, go ahead, see if you can turn back the pages. If you're not happy with the ending you've reached, just flip back a few pages and let the tale unfold once more. Pretty incredible, huh? That's the power of magic.
Would he dare to hold this power back? Or would he simply...
Returning to the castle. I just never thought crossing over into a new world would create so much trouble. All I wanted was to make some friends. I'm starting to think I kinda miss being in Simulanka.
You might look back on it with fondness, but if I were you, I wouldn't miss it.
Why?
Sometimes, moving on with your life comes at a cost. But that's better than going nowhere at all.
You don't have to worry, Durin. No matter what problem you face, there will always be a solution.
Okay. Sometimes I wish I could just go back and see it again.
As the little dragon slipped back inside the castle's walls, the clamor of the outside world fell away. There was no danger here, no problems for the little dragon to resolve. As soon as his mother finished her story, it was time for the child to drift off into the world of dreams. And so the story ended, with the little dragon fast asleep in his castle, just like he had never even hatched.
What's going on? I feel so weak.
Hey, what's happening? Durin, wake up! But this can't be how it ends. Durin promised to bring back everyone's memories. There's no way he'd accept an ending like this.
Looks like you've discovered another possible ending. Do not lose hope. You just need to keep searching, for there are possibilities that only you can bring to life.
dare to hold this power back? Or would he simply give in? Would he dare to hold this power back? Or would he simply give in?
If we go this way, we'll be returning to the...
Returning to the castle.
Yeah! You'll just be hiding from your...
I see.
Would he dare to hold this power back? Or would he simply give in?
The little dragon was at an impasse, and the dark power within him surged like a tide. Unchecked, the darkness engulfed everything around it. The little dragon's story faded into nothingness, and in the world beyond the castle, only the evil dragon's tale endured.
Is this me?
And so the story ended, with the little dragon fading from sight, leaving nothing but the evil dragon's shadow in his place.
Oh no! That means Durin... What do we do now?
Looks like you've discovered another possible ending. Do not lose hope. You just need to keep searching, for there are possibilities that only you can bring to life.
What's going on here? Why isn't the story letting Durin just suppress the abyssal power?
It seems the act of suppressing the power counts as an event in the story. In other words, we would need ink to write it in.
So, what now? Did we use too much earlier? How are we supposed to write a happy ending with only this much left?
Well, this is Durin's story. As long as he's alive and well, why should it end?
If there really is such a direct correlation between the story and his fate, I may have a potential hypothesis. Durin was, and still is in essence, a storybook character, written into being by M. From the moment he was born, he has always dwelt within her story. And I suspect that has remained the case, even after his arrival in Tevat. Reviving Durin in the evil dragon's place was an act of grafting this Durin story onto the latter's fate. In essence, That is how his fate was rewritten. But there is a fundamental difference between a being's story and its fate. As Miss Barbeloth reminded us, the fate of every living being in Tevat has been woven into the fabric of time. Its most natural path, therefore, is to proceed along its given track. But Durin's story, on the other hand... As Durin's connection to this world wore thin, not only have people started to forget him, he started to lose control of the abyssal power within. In other words, his story can't continue. Because the author's ink is drying up. That's what it seems like to me.
It would seem the little dragon had made a group of fine friends indeed.
Save it. The question is, are you here to help him, or stand in his way?
This is as far as the story can go. What path will you choose?
I suppose the final decision is up to me. It's hard to believe I never actually left my mother's story. If that's true, I'd like to go there and see for myself.
By there, I take it you mean the blank pages of the unwritten chapter ahead?
But we still don't even know how Alice's magic works. If Durin belongs inside the story, then going outside of it to some unwritten part, isn't that too risky?
I'm not afraid.
I second that. It would seem this is one answer you need to go seize for yourself.
So be it. Whatever obstacles stand in your way, we'll tear them down together.
I still have so much to learn about human interactions. Like, where should I put my hands when I'm nervous? I just really want to make friends with everyone.
facing that invisible wall. It was as if the little dragon was staring at an uncrossable edge of existence itself. All of a sudden, it began to fracture and struck by some transcendent will.